Okay. Hi, it's so nice to see you again. I am here with Tigre in my lap to just do a sewing catch-up. I thought it would be nice to share a lot of the things that I've been working on, the things that I've completed, the things that I just recently got today. So I think I posted, by this time I would have posted a short. I'm not sure if I'm going to post this video today, Saturday. I'm going to try to. It's not going to be too long, I don't think. But I wanted to share with you some things that I've just picked up today at my absolute favorite, most favoritist most favoritist fabric mill that I have been going to since I was probably 4 or 5 years old that I can remember. One of those places that has remained pretty much looking exactly the same as it did when I was a child. And when I have lived out of state for any period of time, I have missed this place so much. I think I've mentioned it before. It's called Lorraine Mill, or Lorraine Fabrics, I think now. And way back, I'm pretty sure they used to make the fabric in this building. But now what he does, the owner has, it's a long story, but he's had to turn the upper floors of the mill into apartments. So somebody else developed them, and he just has the main floor now. And so they used to have the discount fabrics upstairs in the mill, and you go to the second floor, and that would be all the discounts, the offcuts, the slightly imperfect fabrics, the ones that didn't sell downstairs. Now their prices have always been really good, especially now in this economy. I think it's only recently that he even raised the prices a little bit that I noticed. For the longest time, the prices have been about the same, and now I think that they've gone up just a tiny bit, but there's still an entire back section now of sales stuff, which is pretty much where I exist. When I go there, I go right to, I look at the stuff in the front, and I would love to buy it, and it's still very reasonably priced. But I usually go to the back where the discount fabrics are. Now, some of that stuff you have to be careful, because some of it might be getting into this is flammable, serious polyester stuff, but some of the fabrics are quite remarkable. And they do have a lot of name brand things there. Anything from Waverly to, I think in years past, I got some Ralph Lauren fabrics there. They occasionally have Free Spirit. There are some Japanese cottons that they've had there. So let me see. So I have to strong people with me because it's large, a very large jacket. It's about the size of me. So today I ended up getting something that I am amazed is still there, because I originally saw it yesterday. Yesterday I think I put up about a 7-second fabric shopping video. I think it's just the shop window at the front of the building. and there like was no one there when I went in there, and there was no way I could have filmed. I was so self-conscious because it's an old mill and the creaky wood floors, and like every step you take, I think there was 2 people working yesterday, and it's like you're kind of tracked around the whole store because it's so empty and so quiet. So I was too shy to do anything yesterday. So today I went back and this fabric was still there. And without further ado, I am going to show you. Even the lady at the register said, "Oh, I love this." And there is a lot of it. It's 5 yards. And I don't even know if you can even understand how gorgeous this red is. This is like the red of the Palace Guard uniforms at Buckingham Palace. Like, it is, I would say it's crimson. You probably can't, yeah, it doesn't even look like it's as bright on the screen as it is in real life, but it is, oh, that's pretty good. It is gorgeous, and it's a velvet, and it's heavy. So I am planning on making a cape out of this, and you're not going to believe that this was only $3.99 a yard. They have remnant tables, so 5 yards, oh my gosh. In love, so grateful, so thankful. They had also a green, they had a kind of a, looked like it was a stone washed teal, like a faded teal, and they had a blue, which was beautiful, but I knew I wouldn't wear it as much as this red. So yeah, right there you can see it. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. So I'm really thankful, very thankful that I got that. It was still there just waiting for me. And then I got, oh, this is so cute. Their cottons are, for the most part, $4.99 a yard. And they are like really good quality cottons. This is a Kate Ward Thacker for Springs Creative. So this is a really good quality, like I would say a quilting cotton. This has that vintage nursery look that I am so in love with. How adorable. The little bunnies and the little lambs, the little chicks, they're so cute. So I got 3 yards. I would have gotten like 20 yards, but I really was glad that I got that velvet. And so that is going to make hopefully a beautiful dress, something kind of vintage inspired. And coincidentally, before I went to the fabric place, I stopped at a Goodwill and I found another vintage nursery baby planter that is pretty dirty. But that was just $3.99. So that's how I get all the ones that I collect. I'm sure you've seen them around my room. But I use them to hold like pens and scissors, and I have a big tube of beads, and or a bunch of tubes of beads actually. So I actually use them. I know that I think, did they used to actually plant in these? I guess they did, because this is pretty dirty. It looks like there's been actual dirt in it. But I love finding them for very inexpensive, because I know online they sell for some outrageous amounts, and I'm like, I'm not about that. If I find something that I really enjoy and is, you know, something that I want to maybe get more than one of, then I'm not going to pay a lot for it, because, you know, tastes change and stuff. And for, I mean, well, I've loved this kind of thing for years and years, but I don't want to invest a lot. Anyways, the last thing that I got, these 2 trims, and the idea for these is I'm going to be using these on that 18th century dress that I have been working on for a while. So this is the top part of the 18th century dress. Now, I've already got this trim on here, and I like it well enough, but I wanted to do something on the front here. This is one of the trims, and this was just 69 cents a yard. And I think I got like 8 yards, no, 8.5 yards, because that's all there was on the bolt. And I also got this trim to go with it. And it's kind of fluffy. I don't know if you can see it. It's almost like made of yarn. Very soft. And the idea was putting the two of these together and making like a new trim. How beautiful is that going to be? I just find the way that I had the fabric, I didn't have enough of everything because I cut out the ginormous skirt first, and then I had to kind of fit different panels. And the side ones, it didn't matter so much if they weren't perfectly lined, but the front, this bothers me, the way that they're just slightly off. And I know that it's probably just me that's going to see that, but it does bother me. So I wanted to do some trim like down the front here, and I don't know how I'm going to be able to show you this. Let's try. So I wanted to do something like that on both sides, like there and here. Or I'm going to do it around the neck and just kind of, you know, have it around like that, and then maybe along the bottom of the hem of the skirt as well. So that remains to be seen, but I'm excited that I have that. I've forgotten that I had done this as the lining. Isn't that pretty? They're both vintage fabrics for the inside for the lining. So I still have quite a bit to do on this. I have to bind the whole bottom of it. I have to put in this sleeve, and I have to do all the eyelets down the back and then cover them with thread. So there's still a fair bit, but it's not unachievable. So like I said, yeah, see, the back is pretty nice. I think I might have cut this out like late at night. Actually, that matches up quite nicely. But the front, yeah, it might have been one of those that I cut out late at night. I don't remember. But I'm excited for that. I also wanted to show you two things that I have recently made for sale. Got these pants, and they have beautiful pockets. It's taken from I think it was a table runner that a friend gave me a while ago, and I just cut the shapes out of it just to make pockets. This fabric is a beautiful vintage tablecloth, and then it has many different pieces of lace work all around, and even on the whole butt. It's the kind of drop waist pants. So I think those are really beautiful. A little bit of velvet that I have had for, oh gosh, probably 20 years, and I still have a little bit of it left. So that's the bottom of the legs, and those will be going in my shop, my online shop. And then this little cutie, if you can see this, it's a little dress made with some vintage thrifted Daisy Kingdom fabric and some little upcycled jean pockets. And the bottom is a vintage curtains, vintage rickrack, and then a little bit more for the ties at top. So yeah, I love that. I think that is just so super cute. And speaking of cute, Hey, little guy. You found a new spot? The gold gown saga, it is doing well. I have kind of come to a standstill because I did not finish the back with the zipper super nice, and so I think if you remember, I did like a video about I put the zipper in absolutely impeccably, an invisible zipper, and then I went to zip it up so I could finish the rest of the seam under it of the skirt, and the whole so the little zipper tab thingy came off in my hand, and the zipper pull thing that's on the track of the zippers, that came off too. It just, the two things just kind of like, and it was like, what? I didn't even have any force whatsoever. It just was like, and then it just kind of, I was like, oh my gosh. So I've never had that happen. I haven't had a zipper break where it kind of separates, and I have had that happen when I've tried to put an invisible zipper into a much too heavy fabric. Now I put in a regular zipper and I did baste it in. It did come in very straight. However, because there's a lot of bulk with that gold brocade of the bodice, it didn't lay as flat as I wanted it to, even though I basted it before I put it in. So when I undid the basting, it kind of is a little bit away from the zipper itself, and I'm not so sure how to fix that right now. I might try to re-sew that, but the seam down the back of the skirt now, I kind of had caught up the gold embroidered tulle with the satin of the skirt, so it's like one seam in the back, and I really don't want it like that. I want it only until the bottom of the zipper, just a little bit beyond that, of catching in the tulle, and then I want to kind of, how can I say, kind of separate it and then make the tulle as its own layer, and then the satin underskirt as its own layer. So I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to explain it. So, and then I have to just hand tack the entire lining of the corset top, and then I have to hem it. So there's really only three things. I really just have to resolve that back of the skirt seam for the two layers, and then I have to hem it, and then I have to hand tack the whole lining onto the dress. So there's still a lot of work left, but it's almost done, and I'm super excited. And like I said, next, before I start, because I really want to start that purple, but I have two other fabrics too that I'm considering. Yeah, you can't see it from where I'm sitting, but yeah, I'm really excited with those. And I did start a jacket because nobody knows how to procrastinate like me. I have an incredible talent of it. So here I've got the lining kind of tacked in, but it is this fabric. If you remember, I got this at the Joann's closing, and I am making a, I guess you could say it's a jacket, and I've already got the pockets in, and I had thrifted these Rachel Ashwell sheets, and I've done that for the entire lining. So I'm just in the process of putting together the lining right now, and I think that's everything I have to share. So I hope you're all doing well. I went to my booth today. I've made some more sales, which is really good, because I've also had another thing stolen, which is really bad. But I've taken, the last week and a half to kind of try to just, give it to God, and everything is just it's gonna work out. I've been a retail merchandiser manager before, and I know that theft is a part of retail no matter what, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. Yeah. So Other than that, I love you all and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of the weekend. Stay abundantly inspired, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. Very comfortable. Very comfortable indeed. Yes. Finally, the end of the video, and he makes himself a little nest. So that trim was also 69 cents. And when she measured everything, I showed her the picture of the 18th century gown so far, and it was on the mannequin, and I said, oh, it's gonna be for this. Do you think that that would look good? And she said, oh my gosh, you made that? I said, yeah. And she said, oh gosh, she said, there's only a little bit left on this bolt of, you know, counting the trim. And she said, here, just take it. And she wrapped it around. I'm thinking she's a manager or something. So she gave me what looks like it's more than a yard. And she gave that to me on top of everything that I had bought. So that was such a blessing. I'm so thankful. I'm like, oh my gosh, I mean, all the years I've been shopping there, I just should have been showing them things I've been making